Hello and thank you for watching my video. My name is Sastri Krasniji. I'm CCNA and CCNP certified instructor. Today I'm going to show you a demonstration about how to configure switch port security. This is a packet tracer activity 2.2.4.9. Objectives for this activity on packet tracers is to configure port security and verify port security. Okay, so I'll go to my packet tracer files. These are my packet tracer files, and I'll open configure switch port security. Okay, now this activity has been loaded, so I'll cancel this and I have a look at my activity, packet tracer activity. So let me just expand a little bit. Part 1, configuring port security. It says access the command line from a switch and enable port security on fast Ethernet ports FA01 and FA02. So I have to click on the switch, command line. Let me just change the fonts. Okay. So I'm in the switch. Let's expand the switch a little bit. Okay, excellent. Now access the commands line for the switch, and I've done it, and enable port security on both FA01 and FA02. So enable, because I can't do it from user mode, so I have to go to the privilege mode, enable. Then I have to move to the global configuration mode, so configure terminal. And then from global configuration mode, I need to access two ports at the same time, since I'm going to do most of the configuration are the same for port 1 and port 2. So this is going to be on the range. So interface range FA01-2. Now you can see the prompt has changed. I mean, inside the specific interface range commands or configuration mode. Set them, enable the port security. Now we have to remember, this is how we enable the port security, by tapping switchboard, port security. That's it. We enable port security, as it says there. Enable port security on FA01 and A02. Set the maximum so that only one device can access to the fast Ethernet ports 1 and 2. So we have to set the maximum MAC addresses, so only one device can be connected to these two ports. One device in port 01 and one device in port 02. So command is switch port security maximum 1. Okay, as you can see down here, we completed 32 out of 100. That's great. Now secure the ports so the MAC address of the device is dynamically learned and added to the running configuration. So we need to type, so we learn the MAC addresses dynamically by saying switchboard port security again, MAC address sticky. Okay, so this says the first MAC address that comes is a valid MAC address. Okay, press enter. So let's type that again. Switchboard port security MAC address sticky. Okay. Right away when I saw that marker there, I knew that that's a mistake in that area, so that's why I said let's type it again. Make sure that you're paying attention to these markers. So the markers is because I misspelled, I swapped R and I around. Okay, so what we did here, we went to the interface range, because both of the configuration that we're doing take effect for both of the interfaces. Then we enabled the switchboard port security. We enabled switchboard port security that is allowed only maximum one MAC address to be learned, and that the MAC address to be learned is dynamically. So the first PC that sends any data, we take that MAC address, and that's a valid MAC address. Set the violation so the fast Ethernet port 1 and 2 are not disabled when the violation occurs, but packets are dropped from the unknown source. So the violation by default is shut down. So if there's been a violation, if it's a different MAC address, then the port it will be shut, and you have to go to that port and say no shut, and then no shut. Now in the risk requirement, it says the violation has to be changed so the packets will be dropped from violating device but not from the device who is allowed to be there. Okay, so switchboard again, switchboard, port security, the violation, restrict. Okay, so what we did here is switchboard port security violation. We are going to restrict any other MAC address they're not meant to be there. Okay, so disable all remaining unused ports. Hint, use the range keyword to apply this configuration to all ports simultaneously. That's what this task says. Okay, so we need to go exit or end to go all the way to the privilege mode and do show IP interface brief. Now, ports, other ports, you can see from the top here. If you go to the top, you see port 1, it's up, the status, and the protocol is up as well. And then we say port 2, same, FA02, up and up. Everything else is down, so we need to shut down all the interfaces that are not up by default. So there's no computer connected to this. So configure terminal, and we do it with the range. So interface range FA03 all the way to 24, then I put space, comma, G01 and 2, up to 2. So I'm doing the range from 3 to up to 24. These are FAs, and then from gigabit Ethernet from 01 to 2. Press enter, and then I can shut down all these interfaces. So shut down. Okay. Now if I just expand this a little bit, so we can see it a bit better. If I do show IP interface brief, show IP interface brief. Okay, so all the interfaces apart from 1 and 2, which is up, all other interfaces are administratively down, which means we shut them down ourselves. Okay, now the next task, what does it say? Let's move on. Okay, we did that. As we can see, now we have 86 out of 100. We nearly have completed everything. So from PC1, ping PC2. So if I go to my packet tracer, open PC1, and I'm going to ping PC2. So go to desktop, command prompt, and then I'm going to ping PC2. So I just need to find out the address of PC2. Address of PC2 is 10.10.10.11. So ping 10.10.10.11. Great, I've got a reply. Excellent. Now, verify port security is enabled, and the MAC address of the PC1 and PC2 were added to the running configuration. So I have to go to the switch and make sure the port security is enabled. So show port security interface FA01. Now you can see that port security is enabled. That's a command there. Port security is enabled. At the moment it's secure and it's up. The violation mode, it says restrict, which means if there is a violating packets that come in from a different MAC address, you're going to restrict them. This is the MAC address that is allowed. Last source address on the VLAN. This is the MAC address of the PC1. Okay, we can find that out if you want to. If I go to PC1 and just move this little bit on the side here and do IP config /all. You can see that's the MAC address 00E0, that's 00E0, B027, 2245, yep, that's the one address. Excellent. Now we do the same commands because that's what we asked for PC2 as well. So we repeat the up, press the up arrow to repeat the last command and just change this 1 into 2. So backspace 2, and you can see that's the MAC address of PC2. Different to PCA's or PC1, I should say. For fast Ethernet 02, port security is enabled as well. At the moment it's up, secure, and it's up. Violation mode the same, restrict. Maximum MAC addresses you can have is 1, and that's the MAC address that we have learned through the sticky MAC address. Okay, attach rogue laptop to any unused switchboard, and notice that that link lights are red. Okay, so if I attach the rogue laptop. So if I go there, select the cables, and I'm going to use for this, I'm going to use, if I just move this little bit, you can see that I'm using copper straight through cable. So if I click here, straight through cable from the laptop, this is the serial port, so I'm not going to connect it there. I'm going to connect it to fast Ethernet port and connect it a switch FA03, for example. Now I can see this red. Why is it red? Remember that we did shut down all the interfaces, yeah? So enable the port and verify the rogue laptop can ping PC1 and PC2. Auto verification shut down and the port connected to rogue laptop. Okay, so we have to go to the switch. So switch 1, go to global configuration mode, configure terminal, and then access that port. So interface FA03 was no shutdown. Okay, excellent. So if I go back to my packet tracer, I can see the port is transitioned from red, now it's going to orange, and then soon it's going to go to green. But I have to wait 50 seconds. So if I'm impatient, I can't wait that long, I can fast forward the time on the packet tracer. So if I click there, that's it. It's just fast forward the time. Okay, excellent. So if I go and click on that rogue laptop, access the desktop and the command prompt. What I want to do is I want to ping from laptop to PC1 and PC2. So I'll find out the IP addresses of PC1 and PC2. So 10.10.10.10 all for PC1. So ping 10.10.10.10, and yes, I can ping it. Let me try if I can ping PC2. So ping 10.10.10.11. That's the IP address of PC2. And I can ping that as well. Excellent. Now enable the port and verify the rogue laptop can ping PC1 and PC2. Auto verification shut down the port connected to rogue laptop. Okay, so I have to go to the switch and shut down that port. I'm already in that port, but to make sure, I just go interface FA03. That's where I connected my laptop, and shut down. Excellent. So if I go to the packet tracer to look to verify it, yep, it's gone red. Excellent. Now display the port security violation. Now hold on, we jumped on. Disconnect PC2 and connect rogue laptop to PC2 port. Verify the rogue laptop is unable to ping. Okay, so I'm gonna disconnect the PC2, so remove this cable, and I'm gonna connect the laptop to the PC2 port, which is FA02. This one here. Okay, it's gone orange now. If I fast forward the time, it's gonna go green. Yep, as you can see that's the time, so I can just fast forward it. You can see the seconds going 15, 30, 16 minutes. So we're going 30 seconds ahead, yeah, very fast. Okay, so if I go to the laptop, it says verify. What was it? Verify the rogue laptop is unable to ping PC1. So before we did ping PC1. PC1 IP address was 10.10.10.10.10, all 10s. So let's try it. Ping 10.10.10.10, and no, we can't ping PC1. So we verified that the rogue laptop is unable to ping PC1. Display the port security violation for the rogue laptop is connected to. So it's connected to port 2. So if I go to the switch and I'll do end here to go to privilege mode and show port security interface FA02. As you can see, the violation is increasing 4 here. Well, if I try and ping again, that's gonna increase. But the port status is up anyway, and the violation is restrict. We are not allowing any MAC addresses apart from this to send data. So if I go again to the laptop and ping it again, try again, and run the command again. So up arrow to run the show port security interface FA02. You can see this is increasing. So violation count is being increased. Run again, 6. Run again, 7. Every time we send a ping, we are increasing 1 violation. So violation mode, remember, it can be shut down, restrict, and protect. Now it says, okay, we display the violation modes. Disconnect the rogue laptop and reconnect PC2 to verify PC2 can ping PC1. So we have to go back to our packet tracer, disconnect our laptop, right? So let me just totally delete that cable and add the new cable from PC2, a new cable from PC2 to switch in port FA02. Okay. Now to speed up the timers again, just fast forward a little bit here, so it goes green. And now go to PC2 and make sure that I can ping PC1. Right, so command was ping 10.10.10.10, and yes, voila, we can ping PC1. But laptop couldn't ping it. So verify the PC2 can ping PC1, true. And why is PC2 able to ping PC1 but Rogue laptop is not? So what do you think? Well, PC2 is allowed, the MAC address of PC2 is allowed to go in that port, to access that port. Now the MAC address of the Rogue laptop is not allowed, so that's why it's not able to ping. If the violation mode was a shutdown, you would have to go to the switch and do a shutdown to the port, and then to not that port, same port, do no shutdown. But if violation like we have restrict here, you don't need to do it. It's only will restrict any violating MAC addresses. Okay, I'm gonna close everything here now. I'm gonna close my packet tracer. No, I'm not gonna save anything. And that was showing you how to configure a switch port security. Thank you very much for watching my video. My name was Astrid Krasniqi. Please don't forget to subscribe.